Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. Today, we have Brendan McKay with us. Brendan, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. I'm stoked.
Awesome. Well, you have a phenomenal resume, so our listeners can get to know you right up front. Can you give us just like a brief outline, how long you've been in the industry and what you're doing with AIM?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Brendan McKay. I'm the broker owner of McKay Mortgage Company. We're a five-person brokerage out of Bethesda, Maryland, which is the DC metropolitan area. I co-own it along with my mother, Tina McKay. So we are a family business. She's the one that dragged me into this industry. And yeah, do a healthy amount of origination. I'm proud to be in the top 50 broker originators the last 2 years. Hopefully that's true again this upcoming year. And yeah, as I was telling you, I also am the president of advocacy for AIM, the Association of Independent Mortgage Experts, National Association for Mortgage Brokers. So I'm extremely passionate about that whole side of things as well.
That is amazing. Well, I know that there are a couple of open mouths with our listeners right now. You're one of the top 50 loan officers in the country, and you have a five-person team, and you originate all of that volume yourself.
Yep, that's correct. So, and just to be clear, top 50 on the broker side of things. So
Yep.
top 50 broker did in 2020 did 185 million, 160 million the year following that, and 85 million last year. We'll see where that ranks up. But yeah, we're extremely focused on process, operations, efficiency. My background is in operations as well as the rest of my team. Two of our what you would call processors have a combined 20 years of underwriting experience. So we take that side of things very, very seriously, and can get a lot done without too many people. So yeah.
That is amazing. So I know I'm going to want to dive into how do you originate all of that business? Where do you get it from? But I think on the processing side of things, it's no sense getting new customers if you don't have that incredible process. And I think we're probably going to find out you generate a lot of referrals and repeat business because of your processes.
That's correct. I mean, the entirety of my business is referral based. I don't do any outbound marketing or lead generation. I have a couple of realtors that refer me business. A lot of it is just past clients, referring friends and family themselves, people within the community, things of that nature. And it's not, I mean, the hard part is the process, but the business model is not rocket science. It is deliver a consistent customer experience that is in just better than anyone else in the industry is offering. I'm not saying it's going to be stress free, but I do can say very confidently that the mortgage process our clients experience is as good, if not better, than anyone else out there. And then we're sharply priced. At the end of the day, this is a commodity. Price does matter. I know that's somehow a controversial thing in our community, and I know there's ways to sell around it, but if I have the best price and the best service, people are going to spread the word and they're going to come back to me. Getting the service down is the hard part, but yeah, that's the business model in McKay Mortgage.
Yeah, let's talk about your process and getting that process down.
Sure.
What does it look like? You get somebody in, you take that initial file. How do you make sure that you get that consistent result through your clients time after time?
So we wrote it down. We wrote down our process. Imagine that, and that's the first thing I like. And it sounds ridiculous coming out of my mouth because it is ridiculous. Like, to everyone listening right now, like, you are a professional, and I have no doubt a good one. Why are you winging it every single time? Why haven't you written down your process? That's step one to delivering a consistent experience. But beyond that, I promise you, if you take the time, take a half a day, block it off, write down your entire process from first contact to whenever you are no longer involved in the loan process, you're going to learn a lot. Sit down with your team if you have a team and do it with them. And you are going to first, right off the bat, say, oh, why do we do this at this point? It'd be smarter if we did it here. Or why are we doing this if you're also doing this? And you're going to get more efficient right off the bat. And also, if you have operations team members you work with consistently, you're going to get a lot. You're going to see how they do things, and they're going to see how you do things, which will help bridge that operation sales gap that we all have a hard time with, and understanding the value that each of us bring and how much, because operations people think the salespeople don't do any work, and the salespeople think the operations people make their job sound harder than it is, right? And if you actually sit down and talk about what everybody does, you're going to have empathy for each other and you're going to work better together and all these beautiful things. But writing it down, delivering, I mean, we did literally first contact to post closing. It's a 43-page outline. It is organized, it is color coded based on who does what. And it starts with like, okay, a referral comes my way. Somebody CCs me on an email or reaches out or whatever. And I have the template right on there. Hey, thank you for reaching out. I'd love to work with you. As I was telling you, I'm big on scheduling. I schedule 95% of my conversations. Everyone thinks everything's an emergency. Oh my God, I have a client. I need to talk to them right now. Yeah, if they're literally trying to make an offer on a house that day, don't try to tell them to schedule a call with you next week. But that is not 90% of the people that are reaching out to you. And they're busy too. Assume that they're also busy and say, I'd love to, and here's a link to my calendar, schedule a time and you know, for us to get on the same page, yada, yada, all that language. And it's just an organized way to go about it. And then I have on that call, what are the things that I hit on? That call is very, very formatted and there's logic behind it. So that's how it goes, man. And that's how we deliver, you know, consistent experience. We make less mistakes because of it. And life is good, man.
Yeah, that is amazing. And you know, everybody understands that scripts are so important when we're making outbound calls to our past clients to generate those referrals or going after referral business like realtors, financial planners. But so many people miss email templates and text messaging templates. It can save
Oh
you
my
so
God.
much time.
So much time. And like, if you're listening right now, I can guarantee there's at least a dozen emails that you send, each of them 50 times a year, right?
Yeah.
And not only are you going to save yourself the time of typing it out every single time, but if that one email, whatever the topic is, your you know, hand off to your processor when a loan goes live. Why wouldn't you just write the best version of that email every single time? Okay. Or like, you know, thanking a realtor partner for referring you somebody or whatever it is. You in all those 50 versions you write, one is the best and one is the worst, and everything else is somewhere in between. And if you could just do the best one every time, your clients don't know it. They're only getting the email once. Like, it's just a more intelligent way to go about things, and it's going to lead to a better experience. It saves you time and the clients like it. You're communicating more clearly with the clients. Like, it's just an absolute no-brainer.
Yep, I could not agree more. Now, I'm interested if you leverage software at all in
Yes,
order to document your processes and make sure that when it goes into the system, all of your people are on task on time.
we absolutely do. So we use I mean, we use Google Drive for like file management and storage and stuff like that. And they're very systematized, and every single file looks the same and stuff like that. For LOS and POS stuff, we use Arrive,
Okay.
which is fantastic. So for like online application and, you know, all that good stuff. And then for pipeline management, we use Monday.com, which is not an industry specific software. But if you look at it, it's like it was designed for the pipeline process. I mean, it's just like, because we used Google Docs before that. It's just a souped up Google Docs, and it's beautiful. It's intuitive. It's very easy to use. So we track everything through that. So like our active pipeline, anyone I've spoken to has a file. Like I have a Google Doc form I fill out while I'm talking to them, and, you know, and they're answering my questions, all the information. Complete that. It automatically creates a Google Drive folder as well as a Monday.com folder. Automated emails go out based on all of this. And then once a loan is live, you know, we have 17 email agent automations that are built out through it. So appraisal is back. Click a button, appraisal at value. Appraisal emails go out to the buyer's agent, go out to the listing agent. All that stuff is super buttoned up and organized. And it's not difficult to do. But yeah, you got to have that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
Oh man, so I remember I was at a mastermind meeting one time and sat down with the coach having this, you know, the exact same conversation earlier on in my career, and he said to me like, "You're doing all of the work anyway. Why not just take the time to leave a breadcrumb trail so that every time it gets better and better?"
Yep, all the notes are right in there. And it's funny, I always try to like make stuff as tangible as possible. At a certain point last year, so I ended up doing 85 million last year. I'm really proud of that. And switched from refinance focus to purchase focus. I was at 82% refinances in 2020. And last year we were over 90% purchases, super stoked about that. So, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't feel that busy. And I thought about how hard our same team worked in 2019 to do, half the volume. And we did twice as much volume with working half as much. And like, that's the dream. And it's all because of the software and automations and how much more efficient we are. And you can use that time to go out and get more business or spend it with your family or do whatever the hell you want with it, man. So
Yeah.
I love it.
Man, well, everybody says time is money,
Yep.
and I'd rather have the time than the money some days. So that's fantastic.
Hell
Now,
yeah, man.
um, let's talk about process on database. So you
Okay.
get the majority of your business from repeat customers and referrals from that past customer database. So what are you doing on a consistent basis as part of your process to stay in front of those people and generate as many referrals as possible?
So we leverage HomeBot.
Awesome.
HomeBot is a fantastic software. It is very cost effective. I don't know what it costs, which means it can't be very expensive. And it took me all of 15 minutes to get it set up, and people love it. It's like, I generally don't like that kind of stuff personally because I don't like getting emails.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to the HomeBot reps, they were like, just put in your own information. If you find yourself clicking through it and stuff, then you'll know it works. And I did, and people absolutely love it. It's an easy set it and forget it way to stay in front of people. And there are a lot of things I could actively be doing in there that I'm not. And then I try to do it once a month. It happens more like once a quarter. I send out newsletters.
Right.
I write them myself, which is why I don't get them out all that often. And I try. There's a message I usually want to get in there that's going to lead to business, but I try to lead with something else. Squeeze that in there, and then I end with pictures of my kids because I am shameless. So there you go.
That is amazing.
Yep.
That's awesome. So no phone calls as a part of the database marketing.
No, I do not. No, I probably should. And I know there's a lot of good stuff I could be doing, but no, I am actively always looking for opportunities for my clients. So as we're sitting here right now, rates are still way higher than they were in 2021 and 22, but we all have seen a very significant decrease in interest rates. Where about a week and a half ago, Silicon Valley went out and that caused rates to go down. And I have clients that we closed in the high sixes and low sevens that, it does make sense to refinance into the low sixes, or we can do 6.5 with a lender credit that pays for all the closing costs. We're very active about looking for opportunities for situations like that. Rates don't need to be in the 2s and 3s for people to make sense to refinance. A dollar. So we're proactive about looking at that kind of stuff. I do a pretty sick annual holiday party called the McKay Mortgage Hardcore Holiday Happy Hour. We do it in the penthouse of our building. We had 200 people come this year, open bar catered. We do another fun event that's coming up for our company anniversary where we spend 4 hours volunteering in an absolutely amazing nonprofit called A Wider Circle, and then another 4-ish hours drinking beers at a brewery afterwards. So we do a lot of stuff like that. And I am on the board of my Chamber of Commerce. I'm involved in a bunch of local organizations. So I'm out there seeing my clients in that kind of capacity as well. But yeah, that's I don't know, man, just good rates, good service, get out there, be decent to people. That's the model, man.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Brendan, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. I know there's going to be some people out there that will want to follow up.
Yeah.
How do people find out about you? How do people get more information?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like any loan officer on earth, I do not hide my information. You Google Brendan McKay, Mortgage Maryland, and it's going to come up. B McKay at McKayMTG.com is my email. You can find me on Facebook. AIM is very active on Facebook, so I do spend a good amount of time there. Facebook, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help in any way I can.
Excellent. Now, I do have one final
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
question if you've got time.
Of course.
So the AIM organization, obviously you're dedicating a lot of time to that. It's very important to you. For our listeners that might not be familiar with the organization, can you give us like the 2 minute why is AIM important for our industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So AIM, Association of Independent Mortgage Experts, about to celebrate its 6th anniversary. So a very young association in our space, but one that took off like wildfire. And we still have a long way to go, but we have gotten a lot done. I am one that believes that mortgage brokers have historically been underrepresented when it comes to advocacy in Washington, D.C. And we are looking to solve that problem. We made a ton of progress. We launched a PAC last year that raised over $350,000 in a 24-hour period, which is more than any mortgage broker PAC has raised in any 2-year election cycle in history. So incredibly proud about it. We have a kick-ass bipartisan lobbying firm called Forbes State Partners that we are in communication with constantly. We are also every single month meeting in DC with members of Congress and Senate, myself, along with Katie Sweeney, our CEO. So if you believe that mortgage brokers should have a voice in Washington, DC, and that stuff's important to you, it's important to me. I believe that the only thing that has ever stopped mortgage brokers from growing is regulation, specifically bad regulation. Regardless of the environment, if it's bad for everyone, it's not as bad for us, and when it's good for us, it's better than it is for anyone else. It's something I believe in. So that's what we're out there doing. Furthermore, we have really developed a community, both on social media as well as in person. Fuse is our big event in Vegas every fall. We had over 3,000 people last year. It was bigger than the year before, despite very adverse market conditions. As well as training and education. Mortgage broker channel is growing drastically. I think the number was over 16,000 loan officers switched into the broker channel last year. And we want to not only encourage that movement, but provide support for them. You're still originating mortgages at the end of the day. It's not Greek, but there are a lot of differences, most of them positive, but change is still difficult, even if it's good change, right? So we are a support network for all mortgage brokers, but especially one new to the channel, to make that landing as soft as possible. So you care about anything mortgage broker related, there is something that AIM has to offer you.
That is amazing. And to hear the advocacy and the growth of the AIM events network, it's congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. I have a lot of fun doing it. It's really, really fun. And I don't know, it's cool. We get to do cool stuff, man. We get to do big, important stuff, man, and I love it. So it's something I'm incredibly passionate about. I have recently had to really start focusing on blocking my time so that McKay Mortgage was getting the focus and my attention that it deserves, because I have a lot more fun doing the other stuff. But yeah, man, it's cool.
That is amazing. Well, I have this thing where I love to do like 1 day experiences where I get to immerse myself in being, it's something that I find super interesting. So, lobbying in DC is
Man, come to
something I would
DC
love.
anytime, man. We're doing it next week. We've got all the meetings set up. We're meeting with MBA. We're going to meet with some people on the Helper Act. You're more than welcome to be a fly on the wall, man.
Well, if you ever, you know what? I'm going to be a tag along nerd for one of those. I'm going to
Hell
keep in
yeah,
touch
dude.
with
You
you
got
for
it.
that. I'll have to buy a suit. Awesome.
Yeah. Just a sports coat, no tie. But yeah, you're good. You're good, man.
Very cool. Well, Brendan, thank you so much for being on the show and for sharing your wisdom with our listeners today.
Dude, hell yeah, Chris. You got it, man. Anytime.